I'm Daniella and I'm from England. I've been living in Germany for a total of about 5 years now. Along the way I've heard a lot of things that have made my English ears twitch. Obviously it works both ways, so I'm very aware that there are probably things that we say that make the Germans chuckle, all in good humour. So without further ado, these are 10 things I've noticed Germans saying that are funny to English native speakers. The first thing that springs to mind when I think of this is PayPal. This is something that the entire German race has just got fundamentally wrong, and I can't really explain why. So let's break it down. PayPal means a pay buddy. Pal meaning friend. So in German it would probably translate something like Zahlungskumpel. Pal spelled P-A-L, and A-L in English is pronounced Al, as in Aladdin, Muhammad Ali, Aldi. Even if you're American, you would say pal. Pal, British, pal, American. So if it was written P-A-L-L, then we would be pronouncing it like words like tall, ball, call, fall. So we've established that those are two different sounds with two different pronunciations, regardless of whether you're from Britain or the USA. So why, in the name of all things German, do you Germans say, "Hey Paul"? Who is Paul? And why are you paying him? It's PayPal! Moving on. The other thing that springs to mind is there's an advert for a German razor on TV called Sensitive Precision. Of course the German woman is describing how amazing this razor is in German, and then she goes and says the product name, Sensitive Precision. Precision! I have to say that I was slightly disappointed when, after about, well, a good couple of weeks or a couple of months, somebody actually corrected her, and obviously they changed the advert to Sensitive Precision, but it will forever live on in my heart as Sensitive Precision. Pronouncing A's as E's, but only when they speak English. There is no logical explanation as to why the Germans do this, but all Germans do this. All Germans. All Germans. So it's weird because in the German language they do have the A sound. They do have words like Achtung, Alter, Amt. So they have the A. It is beyond me why, when they see an English word, they then replace the A with an E sound. For example, they like to use the word happy, but instead of saying happy, they say happy. Unless they are all striving to sound Australian. I'm happy! Even if they are going for an American accent, happy, they are failing epically. So with a German speaking with a typical German accent, it would be really difficult to decipher between dann and then, and end, end, dad, dead, dead. Fan and handy are also two words that the Germans are major fans of, but of course, Fan, handy. One hilarious example of this epic fail is I was in a German shop where they were selling like a German breadboard thing that they used to eat bread off, and on the breadboard were written the words, wait for it, bread pit. Brum brum ch. To them the word brad is pronounced bread. It's so bad. Or should I say bed? Brum brum ch. We know that German has 3 words for the der, die and das, and we also know that the Germans love to adopt English words. So it's only logical that to make it work in a German sentence, they need to put der, die and das in front of it to make it grammatically correct. And it's usually quite logical whether it's der, die or das, because it just goes by the original German word being der, die or das. Der Schlag, der Beat, der Tanz, der Hip-Hop, der Versager, der Loser, der Rechner, der Computer, der Ausgang, der Brexit. Der Brexit. But there are also some cases that I consider to be not so logical, and that the Germans actually themselves also have problems with. Of course, the all-time debate as to whether it is die Nutella or das Nutella. The answer is that here it all depends on how you view the Nutella. If you view the Nutella as a chocolate cream, then it's die, but if you view the Nutella as a glass of Nutella, then it's das. And then we have new inventions like the segue, where Germans themselves aren't really sure whether it's der or das. It's der, by the way. And then you get words that can be both, according to the dictionary. Spray can be der or das, and alien can be der or das. But in that case, an individual usually has a preference and would always say, oh no, it's der, I always say der. And somebody else might say, oh no, I always say das. So you will hear both variants. Then we have words like der Song, where the German word is das Lied. The Germans would probably argue that it's der Gesang, but I would say that it's probably not referring to der Gesang, which means the singing, more to das Lied. Let's face it, Germany, it should be das Song. And if it's flexible with Nutella, then why can't it be flexible with a song? The same goes for der Sound. Now, I agree that this is probably more referring to der Ton, but there is also das Geräusch. Why? Why isn't it das Sound? And airbag. I mean, Germans don't even have a German word for this. And a bag, again, there are 3 different words for bag in German. Die Tasche, die Tüte, and der Sack. Now, going by probability, 2 of those are die, and 1 of them is der. So any non-native speaker would probably go, okay, it's probably die Airbag. There, it's der Airbag. Okay, granted, it's more of a Sack than it is a Tüte or a Tasche, but how are we supposed to know? Tja. And finally, it is das Auto, the car. We're probably likely to guess it's das Mercedes. It's der. Yeah, der. BMW in German stands for Bayerische Motorenwerke, and that should technically be die. Yes, but it's der Wagen. Oh, come on! There are 2 words that spring to mind here that have caused problems for me in the past. The word spray, which the Germans have adopted, and the word star, which the Germans have adopted. Now, there is a German TV game show called Schlag den Star, which means beat the star. And basically it's where a celebrity goes on the show and then a member of the public goes up against them, plays a number of games and tries to beat the star, hence the name. So the first time when I saw the name of this show, I just kind of assumed, yeah, the Germans have adopted this word, so they've probably put a German twang on the word, Schlag den Star. I got laughed at, to say the least. It's star, der Star, Schlag den Star. Okay, fine. They like to keep the pronunciation English. Don't do that again, it was embarrassing. So skip ahead to a week later and I'm having my hair done by a German. I asked them to pass me the spray in German. Having learned from my previous experience of having Germanized an English word wrongly, I thought this time, no, I'm gonna keep it English. So I'm gonna say, pass me den Spray. No, it's Spray. Der Spray. How are we supposed to know? We can't win. This is hilarious and I love it. German verbs end in en. So they'll take an English word like to chill, to rap, to screenshot, to download, and they'll just make it German. Chillen, rappen, screenshotten, downloaden. And it is even funnier when you hear it in the past tense. Gechillt, gerappt, gescreenshotted. The Germans can't even decide on whether it's gedownloaded or downgeloaded. Either way, it's hilarious, and I could not believe my ears the first time that I heard someone say, ich habe es gescreenshotted. Now, this is not something that the Germans do when they're speaking English, but when they're speaking German. This not only goes for the German language, by the way, the Dutch language does this too, but on the whole, if you speak English, French, Spanish, Italian, Russian, Portuguese, any of those as a native language, yeah, you're going to be confused. So let's take the number 25. Logically, the 2 comes first, 20, and then the 5. The Germans say 5 and 20, 25. So no matter how good I get at German, when they say 25, I always want to write the number 52. I hear the 5 first, so I write the 5, and then I hear the 2, and I write the 2, and then I realize, oh, good God, that's not right. So with German, it's this whole like tension thing. If somebody's telling you a number and you're writing it down, you have to really wait for them to finish the number for you to know what that number is. 5 und... What? 5 and what? 5 and 20, 5 and 30, 5 and 90? Because that's a big difference. I need to know. You should say that first. The suspense is killing me. What amazes me is obviously because it's their native language. It doesn't faze the Germans at all. You say a number and they're just effortlessly write down 25. The amount of brain power that goes on in that moment, it's impressive. This technically doesn't belong to what Germans say, but it is something funny that Germans do. In fact, most of Europe. But I'm going to put it in the video anyway. It's logical that we would write 3000 with a comma, but the Germans would write 3.000. To me, this is illogical, and I'll tell you why. Let's take the number 4321.78. A comma signifies something that isn't quite finished yet. It signifies the halfway point. So 4000, comma, I'm not finished with the number 321.78. A dot signifies something that is finished. So at the end of the whole number, 4321, it's finished. So you can put a dot after it and then you can go into your decimals. 4000 dot finished, ooh, but not finished, 321, comma, for no reason, 78. What is going on? The best example that I can think of for this is the phrase, let's say for censoring purposes, it happens. Literally everybody knows this in Germany, and it's even on products that they sell, like you can buy a bag or a t-shirt with "it happens" written on it. Why are you all so obsessed with this phrase? It's really not that good, and we really don't say it that often. I for one have never used that phrase. And it's really surprising when an older, respectable German man or woman in the middle of the conversation suddenly comes out with happens. Pardon? I don't think that they realise that the phrase is actually not as well received in Britain and America as it is in Germany. The Germans swear a lot in English as well. Swear words are really not half as bad for them as they are for us. Now, it's a rule of German that all consonants at the end of words have to be devoiced. Well, what does that mean? That means that all the consonants at the end of the word, when they pronounce them, are pronounced without using the vocal cords, without making them vibrate. That means at the end of the German word you would never hear a z, v, g, d. You would always hear a s, f, k, p. For example, the German word for und is spelled with a D, but is pronounced with a T. This is not the case in English, though. We do have voiced sounds at the ends of our words. We do have voiced sounds at the ends of our words, as well as devoiced sounds. Let's take these word pairs, for example. Dogs, cats. Bed, bet. Of, off. And, ant. Love, laugh. Pig, pick. Eggs, X. And so on. So an average German might not make this distinction between a voiced and devoiced consonant at the end of an English word, so they would just devoice everything. Dogs, cats. Bet, bet. Off, off. End, end. Laugh, laugh. Pick, pick. X, X. That, my friends, is a German accent. Like the motto for the German TV channel Pro7 is, "We love to entertain you." We love to entertain you. It's very sweet, but it can be a bit confusing at times when the Germans say something like, "Oh, look at the ducks." Is he telling me to look at the dogs or the ducks? This one is bound to start major debates. Some people will say, yes, there is definitely a huge difference between sarcasm and irony, and other people will say no, they definitely overlap. So I'll let you decide. But in my understanding of it, they're two very different concepts. Sarcasm, according to me, is when you say the opposite of what you actually mean. And irony, according to me, is when the opposite happens of what you expect. For example, what is the plural of the word plural? That's ironic. Men in robes banned Donald Trump from banning men in robes. Ironic. A song that sings about irony, but nothing in the song is actually ironic. Isn't it ironic? Yes. Yes, it is. The crocodile man was killed by a stingray. I'm sorry if that's insensitive. But it is ironic. A dusty vacuum cleaner. Irony. I is amazing at grammar and spelling. That's ironic. with a C. Sarcasm? Ugh, I love working 12 hours every day without a break. That's sarcasm. I don't work 12 hours every day, by the way, without a break. That would be illegal. And at the end of that long 12-hour day, I look amazing. Sarcasm. So I have often been having a conversation with a German and said something sarcastically, being British, and the German has then asked me, "Are you being ironic?" No. No. I'm being sarcastic. I've looked it up and there is no difference in meaning between the German word ironisch and the English word ironic, or the German word sarkastisch and the English word sarcastic. So it must just be a major misunderstanding, either from my side or from their side. I don't know. I mean, the British are known for their dry, sarcastic sense of humour, not their ironic sense of humour, right? That's it for now. Thank you for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you yourself have noticed anything funny that I've missed out, then please leave it in the comments below. I would love to hear it. That wasn't sarcastic, by the way, and it definitely wasn't ironic.